Well, hello everybody. My name is Sarah and this is Instacart Tales and my last name is Pearl. So that's why we have the pearls of wisdom. Am I learning anything? Do I have any wisdom after yesterday? I'm not sure. Yesterday was one of those identity crisis days for sure. If anything could have gone wrong, it went wrong from start to finish. So if I tell you my tale, you'll probably be very happy for your life and your Instacart shopping tales. The first one was a huge order with a low price tag, but I'd already waited so long for an order that I just took it. And she was demanding. Her notes were very arrogant. It was just way too many. It should have been a $50 item, but of course, as we know with Instacart, the new normal is, if you're making more than 8.50 an hour, we're paying you too much. It was just awful. And had I had the wisdom and some patience, I wouldn't have done it. So I start shopping, and she said, "Oh, what happened to my other shopper?" And I wanted to say, well, she probably read the notes and began to shop. This person was awful. So I cheerily answered, "Well, you're here and I'm here, and let's just get it done." 2 freaking hours later, it just was never worth it. She was impossible. Do you ever think that customers have magical thinking that if they were in the store, they could do a better job than you with the low inventory, no inventory, out of stock, and never ever stocked before, but for some reason the item slipped into their offerings on the app, so they hit it because it's like, well, yeah, I've never tried that before. Well, that's because the store doesn't carry it. You know, when you're an Instacart shopper, and you start early in the morning, you begin to develop a relationship with the people in the meat department, the deli department, the produce department, the dairy department, and the people that are cashiering and there to help you when you do your self checkout and, the app. If you've got a Marty in your store, you know who I'm talking about. It's that big glunky thing that just kind of like gets in our way. It's I swear it's Martha. I'm calling it Martha. It's the female cashier voice on, at the checkout that says you're doing something wrong and all you did was like breathe out, You know what I'm saying? Use your mouthwash. That's all I got to say. So anyway, the order was just, and I didn't put rude at the end because if when they say how was your batch, I just hit the up thing. But I remembered her, and her name began with K. And sitting there thinking, I'm going to call you Karen at some point. It was just really, really rough. The next order was a double batch, and the first person, or the B customer, I should say, had never done Instacart before, so she was definitely in magical land. I was already delivering to customer A, and I send out texts that say, I've checked out, I'm beginning the delivery, right? And so does the app. The app sends those, we've notified the customer you're on your way. And it's like, she says, "Oh, I will take the chicken." She had me take a picture of her freaking chicken breast, decided against it, so I've got to run away. This is in the checkout aisle. People are behind me because there's one checkout person, there's no self checkout. It was just part two of the nightmare. I just was so discombobulated, yesterday. So I just made mistakes that I wish I hadn't. Um, I don't know if these were, usually nice people. I don't know. My patience and frustration level was so high. I was utilizing every tip, every trick, everything that I would tell you if you were a shopper having a bad day that you need to use, right? And just it was just one of those days. So then I get a point pickup order, and if you don't have point pickup, it's a delivery only order app, and only Shaw's has them in our area. Stop and Shop doesn't have them. So you choose it, and this was a $15 order, which is usually where I like to start, when I accept those orders. I drove to the location, and the dits in the drive up and go, like the shopper of the store says, "Oh, well, somebody from DoorDash came in and they said they'd take it for me." So now I'm out my little $15 fee, which at this point is a lot of money. Sad, isn't it? And and it's like, so I contact Point Pickup and I said, the the shopper gave the order to a DoorDash person that just asked for it. And they're like not believing it, or not, like, you're kidding. And it's like, no, I'm not kidding you. And so I know that it was the supervisor lead's day off yesterday. So when she gets back from her 2 days off, I'm going to have to let her know that's money out of my pocket. What if you walked into your paycheck job and they said, "Oh, we decided to give your shift to somebody else, and you're out your whatever you were making per hour for the day." It's like it's starting to seem like I'm in a parallel universe, like the nightmare that I can't wake up from. You ever have those? As I digress, I had a dream that I had a black Tesla that I used for deliveries, and it was getting all banged up, and I was just each time I came out of the store with a cart to deliver, there'd be more dings, more scratches, more dents. Yeah, that's what this was like, a continuation, except that was a dream. I don't have a Tesla. Anyway, so, like, there I am now, and it's like, of course, Instacart is as barren as it could be these days, which is why I rely on Point Pickup, not just as a filler anymore, but as like what I'm doing. So I start heading back to my hometown, or where I live, where I shop out of. And was there another bad one? I'm not sure. Um, no, there was another one. And anyway, so I get home and I eat, and I've made so little yesterday that a $25 Point Pickup order came out of nowhere, and it was after I ate, and so I said, "You know what? I'm just going to go grab this and deliver it. 25 bucks. That definitely helps." And so I start driving towards it, and Point Pickup says, "Too late. You lost it." And it's like, "You're kidding." It's like, why is this all happening? I'm so frustrated. I just want to cry. I just want to put my thumb in my mouth with my blankie, and or a quart of ice cream. Either one of those things works. And so it happens that as I'm driving, there is a batch in that town, a double batch in that town, and even though it's a town away, customer B ends up, I can see where she lives from my own house. So it worked out well. So it's like drop off on the way home, and then all the way, to like a street away, and I could drop it off. And so both ladies were very accommodating through the whole thing. They were chatty, they were nice. It all worked out. And so I'm delivering, and they're very helpful when there's something's out of stock. It's like no problem, or they accept the substitute, this and that. So I finished the two orders, and I drive home, and I wake up this morning to customer A said they didn't get their case of water. How do you not get a case of water, right? Especially when I have an A customer, I put it in my back seat. A B customer goes in the trunk. We're talking 35 items. So it's not like it's, a Costco order for 85 items, and, I missed the water and I gave it to customer C with a triple batch or something. Both of them claimed missing items, and it's just you just read these things, and one of them gave me a 3 star, and you wake up and you just go, "What am I doing here? I'm working at less than minimum wage, and for people that like are scamming, are fraudsters." It just, and then when I made the mistakes that I made, I know I made them, right? So I own those mistakes, which makes me feel equally So anyway, it's a day, definitely a day I do not want to repeat. I hope you haven't had any days like that, because they're really discouraging to your soul when it's your full-time job and you put everything that you are into it every day. You suit up to get someplace, and and then these things happen. So I had a good night's sleep, which I had the night before too. I guess that didn't matter. And so I'm up. I'm fueling up with my, very strong um, French roast Starbucks ground at home coffee, and I plan to be ready at the bell. Shaw's opens at 6, and Stop and Shop opens at 7. Point pickups start coming in anytime after 8. And so I will just do my best again and crawl out of the hole with my new low rating and then all the trips you have to do to do it. But I hope you never have a day like this. As a side note, I started to watch something on YouTube that I've never watched before. She just switched from doing nothing but DoorDash to doing Instacart. And so the first video was la la la, it's great, it's easy. There's a forgiveness period. And so you can make a mistake and they forgive you and you don't get dinged or anything. And she's in heaven because after DoorDash, it seems like, wow, this is such a great program. Why didn't I discover this years ago? And then as I listen to the videos, she's getting more and more cynical and, that battered thing that some of us, talk about here. Hello. And so it's just kind of funny. It goes from like, oh my God, this is the best thing. I can't believe that. I love Instacart. They forgive it. To like, you better be careful where you go. You better be careful of how many miles they put on it. You better be careful of going for people that don't tip. But it's just one of those. So I hope you all have a much better day than I had yesterday. You can take my worst day of shopping for other people and make it yours. And that will be good because then you don't have to go through it, right? This has been Sarah with pearls of wisdom of my Instacart tales. Thank you for listening. I'll see you here the next time. Hey, at least I'm still smiling. Bye bye for now.